John Deere announced yesterday that it's cutting 225 jobs in October at harvester work.
Donald Trump just declared war on John Deere by vowing to slap a 200% tariff on their tractors, a direct response to the company's decision to shut down U.S. plants and move production to Mexico. Over 600 American workers are losing their jobs as factories close, leaving families uncertain about their futures. This marks Trump's boldest retaliation yet against corporations offshoring jobs, but why would John Deere risk such a massive political backlash? The shocking truth behind this corporate gamble goes deeper than just cost cutting, and the consequences could reshape American manufacturing. Stay tuned as we break down what this means for workers, farmers, and our economy. The Mexican move, what John Deere is really doing. John Deere is relocating production of 3 key product lines to Mexico: skid steer loaders, compact track loaders, and mower conditioners. Their spokesperson states, the company is moving the manufacturing of mid-frame skid steer loaders and compact track loaders from Dubuque, Iowa to Ramos, Mexico. This strategic shift centers on 2 specialized facilities. Ramos will handle loader production, while Monterrey takes over mower conditioners, a deliberate pairing of location and product line. The choice becomes clear when examining the numbers. Mexican workers earn roughly $5 per hour compared to Iowa's $35 per hour with benefits. To put that in perspective, the wage difference alone could cover a year's mortgage payments for 3,000 Iowa families. Beyond labor costs, proximity to Latin America's booming agricultural markets, particularly Brazil, drove the decision. The move will save Deere an estimated $300 million annually, savings that could fund new product development or price cuts to compete with global rivals like C&H Industrial and Kubota. The Dubuque and Ottumwa plants will complete their transitions by 2025. While Deere frames this as factory optimization, workers see it as pure cost cutting, especially after the company reported record $12.2 billion profits last year. This continues Deere's long-term Mexican expansion, with $90 million invested in Ramos and $50 million in Monterrey upgrades. The new facilities will be more automated than their U.S. counterparts, delivering higher output with fewer workers. The ripple effects are already hitting Iowa. A third-generation parts supplier in Dubuque told us, if Deere leaves, we lose 85% of our business overnight. Industry experts note the relocated products share key traits: high volume and standardization, where labor costs disproportionately impact pricing. With $300 million in annual savings, the question becomes what production lines might move next. Deere's spokeswoman declined to rule out future relocations when pressed. Next, we'll examine how this decision is devastating American communities, impacts that extend far beyond the immediate 600 job losses. Economic carnage, the American fallout. The job losses hit East Moline first, then Davenport, then Dubuque, a wave of economic devastation across the Midwest. Watch this footage from the plant closure announcements where workers received their layoff notices. Over 600 positions vanished overnight, but the real damage extends far beyond Deere's payroll. Local economists estimate each lost job eliminates 2.5 others in the community: restaurants, suppliers, even childcare providers. That's 1,500 livelihoods gone, rippling through these towns. Dubuque's mayor confirmed the closures wiped out a tenth of their manufacturing workforce, with tax losses threatening schools and city services. Play this interview with the city manager explaining potential cuts to police and after-school programs. The domino effect crushes small businesses too, like Johnson Machine Works in Davenport, where 85% of their business came from Deere contracts. The third-generation owner now faces laying off 27 employees. Play his emotional interview holding blueprints his grandfather drew for Deere in the 1950s. The human toll cuts deepest. Jim, a 48-year-old assembler with 22 years at Deere. He earned $32 an hour with benefits. Now he can't afford to take a $15 retail job. Hospitals report families dropping health insurance, while local businesses see sales plummet. The East Moline School District, which gets 42% of its funding from Deere-related taxes, may cut 15 teachers. Analysts warn these communities could take decades to recover, if they ever do. Janesville, Wisconsin still hasn't bounced back 15 years after its GM plant closed. Deere claims these cuts will save $300 million yearly, but the total wage loss to these towns exceeds $180 million annually, not counting collapsed businesses or sinking home values. The true cost? Nearly $500 million over 5 years. Now let's examine why Trump specifically targeted John Deere in his latest trade war escalation. The timing reveals a calculated political strategy. Trump's trade war ultimatum. Trump strategically threatened tariffs against John Deere at his Pennsylvania roundtable, framing the company's actions as betrayal. "They're spitting on American farmers who made them rich," he declared, a line that resonates with his base by painting corporate decisions as personal insults. The 200% tariff would effectively price Mexican-made Deere equipment out of the U.S. market. The timing was no accident. Trump was deep into campaigning on his American Jobs platform, and insiders confirm he views Deere as the ideal villain, an iconic brand abandoning heartland workers. "This is exactly what we need to show people what's happening to their jobs," he told aides backstage. This mirrors his Carrier Furnace playbook from 2016, but with higher stakes. Trump's team knew Deere's move would eliminate 600-plus jobs directly, giving them concrete numbers to weaponize. The economic treason rhetoric was focus grouped with manufacturing workers in swing states, a calculated appeal to Iowa and Pennsylvania voters who rely on Deere equipment. Some farmers surprisingly support the stance, like one Iowa grower who said, "I'll pay more for American-made equipment if it keeps jobs here." Others fear cost spikes, revealing the issue's complexity. Trump's team considered Whirlpool and Carrier before settling on Deere for its name recognition and clear job losses. The Iowa plant closures provided perfect campaign ad fodder. Experts warn past tariffs led to consumer price hikes, but Trump bets voters will blame corporations, not his policies. Farm groups are divided. Some see tariffs as job protection, while others dread equipment shortages during critical seasons. This highlights the GOP's economic policy tension, traditional pro-business Republicans versus Trump's tariff-cheering base. The move isn't just about Deere, it's a warning shot. By targeting a household name, Trump signals severe consequences for offshoring. Will this bold stance force other corporations to reconsider? Globalization versus economic nationalism. John Deere's leadership describes this move as necessary evolution. Trump calls it economic treason. The data shows this isn't an isolated case. 78% of Fortune 500 companies have moved jobs overseas since 2000, but the backlash is growing louder than ever before. Farmers face a tough choice. Many rely on Deere technology but feel abandoned by the company. In Iowa, a soybean grower told us, "My family's used Deere equipment for 3 generations." But another farmer counters, "How can I support them when they won't support American workers?" Equipment dealers report some customers asking about alternatives, while others say they'll stick with Deere regardless. Smaller competitors like Mahindra and Kubota are making strategic moves like chess players, capitalizing on an opponent's risky play. Dealers report a 30% increase in inquiries since Deere's announcement, though these brands lack Deere's advanced technology. The question is whether they can scale production quickly enough to matter. Automation reshapes the playing field here, just as it has in tech industries worldwide. Deere's Mexican plants will use 40% fewer workers than US facilities due to robotics. This mirrors what happened when Carrier kept jobs in Indiana, but automated half the positions. Global competition forces hard choices. Chinese firm Lovol and India's Mahindra undercut Deere on price, while European manufacturers like Claas compete on technology. Without cost reductions, Deere risks losing market share, potentially costing more jobs long term. Union leaders argue corporations prioritize profits over people, noting Deere's $10 billion record profits while demanding concessions. A Dubuque employee asks, "We made them these profits and this is our thanks." The tariff threat creates a no-win scenario. Trump's proposed 200% levy would make Mexican equipment unaffordable, but US price hikes would hurt farmers either way. Small farms with thin margins would suffer most. History suggests political pressure rarely overrides economics. Harley-Davidson and others faced backlash, but still moved production. The market ultimately decides, will farmers prioritize patriotism or performance? This conflict exposes America's manufacturing crossroads. As automation advances, the tension between global competition and domestic jobs will only intensify. Deere's move tests whether economic realities outweigh political promises in shaping U.S. industrial policy. The outcome will signal where America's priorities truly lie. This situation tests whether political pressure can change corporate calculations on offshoring, with automation accelerating the shift. Oxford Economics estimates 20 million manufacturing jobs could disappear globally by 2030. Companies like Deere now prioritize automation over labor costs, leaving displaced workers with few options. The combined forces of offshoring and technological change are reshaping manufacturing faster than policies can adapt. As companies prioritize cost-cutting over communities, what future awaits our workforce? Share your perspective below and subscribe for deeper analysis on how economic shifts impact real lives. The stakes couldn't be higher for local economies.